What's up, guys? This is DoodleTay. I'm Tay, and today I'm gonna doodle. So we're gonna pick up where we left off from last stream on Wednesday, and continuing to finish Vegeta here. I actually went out and got some pencils, so now I have a full-fledged eraser for today's activity. So I actually noticed it looks like some of the lines don't come across as dark for you guys, so I think I'm going to come back in and shade a little bit darker on some of these areas, but first I'm going to finish mapping out his hair. That's going to be a little bit tricky just because I'm not liking how his right side was coming out. So hopefully today I'm feeling it and we can crank this out. And I know I mentioned in last video to try to do like light trace lines when you're just starting to map out an area, and I did not follow my own advice too well, so this time I'm going to try and do that. Wait until I get the shape that I like before I make the solid lines to keep it there. Much better. Let's see. Oh, it's so nice to have a new eraser. I might be able to clean up some of the other areas now that I was working on on Wednesday the other day. So it looks like some of these lines I'm doing for his hair might look a little funny just because I'm not able to fully capture the shape of his hair. As you can see, I ran out of room on the sketch pad. So I'm just going to go ahead and hopefully pack in a lot more details towards the top of his head and going out into the hair to kind of fill it in, make it look realistic. And if we don't like it, we can always erase it and do it over again. I'm going to try and put a little bit more of a harder angle on the cut of his hair, just because it looks like he's in full Saiyan mode or some kind of Saiyan mode, and that energy is just, you know, electrifying and just straightening out the ends. Make them a little bit more crisp. I have a fear with getting such a large sketch pad that the lead's not only going to stay on the base of my palm, but all the way down my arm. So this will be interesting to see. Starting to come together to where I like it. We're getting somewhere. Okay, I think I can leave that alone for now. It's pretty good. Alright, and then the other thing I wanted to fix that I noticed is that I was making his body a little too tiny in comparison to the guns that are at the bottom of the sketch pad. And Vegeta is not that tiny. But I wouldn't say he's like super bulky either. So. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Alright. Fun Art Friday! That's dope! I like that tag. I'm gonna have to start using that on my Friday streams on Twitter. And if you're not already, definitely follow me on Twitter. That's where I post updates, share content, things, pictures and stuff of like paintings that I've already done or drawings that I've already done. And that's DoodleTay TV on Twitter. All right. And I think I'm going to start tackling the shirt first, just because it looks like I'm going to have to map out a lot of the areas that are going to be shaded. Pretty much the whole thing is, but just to be able to differentiate where I'm going to have to put in a lot more contrast. Now I'm trying to do these lines pretty light, just so I can go in and fill what I want shaded as dark as I want. So these might be a little bit trickier for you guys to see, but they're definitely there. And I highly suggest doing this first. Map out your areas that you're going to shade really, really dark. really lightly with like an outline almost. Because then you can adjust the shape too to make it look more natural, especially on like fabric like a shirt. Those seem to be trickier. At least for me they are. This is probably going to look really weird at first before you actually get to the part where you're shading it in. Just because you probably won't see the whole picture just yet. So have some patience. Just do your best. That's all I do every day. I'm actually pretty happy it's Friday and I'm finally just drawing, getting to relax. It was a stressful week it seemed. I was sick earlier this week. So I'm glad to be feeling better and getting to draw. Surprised my cat Autumn hasn't jumped up here yet to say hello. I'm sure she will at some point. She can't help herself. And what I'm hoping too is that by putting in these little blocks and actually getting to shade them in, you'll have more depth to the shirt. It'll actually look like a shirt. More details, the better. Ah. Well, I'm glad that we found different music. I didn't mind Wednesday's music on the stream. I actually had my friend Sav said that she enjoyed it, but I don't know. I just like relaxing beats or instrumental music for the most part when I'm drawing. I think it helps me just kind of relax and concentrate on what I'm doing. And then you don't have, feel the need to stop what you're doing and go searching for a new artist, new song, all that stuff. Takes away from the art time. Okay, so I darkened the edges of the shirt, and I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to keep right here across his chest all tattered, but I think I am, so I'm going to go ahead and darken that in first, just because some of these trace lines look like they're connecting or going around that area. And I want to be able to have the distinction of knowing what I can erase and can't erase. So... And this is kind of cool too when you go back to trace over darker, because some of the shapes you might have made originally, you might naturally just find a better line or a better path to connect. And some of these I might just go in and erase slightly the previous line that I drew, just because I like what I put in better. All right. That looks like on his shirt he almost has like layers of dark. There really isn't any what I would consider to leave like the natural sketch pad tone. So it looks like I'm probably going to shade this whole thing in and just different shades or different variations of graphite. Just Alright, so I'm going to mark the really dark areas with the dark line because I'm going to fill that in. Really dark. And then I'm going to start tracing my next layer, or what I would deem to be the next level lighter, and make a mark on those of that same kind of shade that I'm going to go and fill in. And then kind of zoom in on his his chest a little bit so I can see the difference in the shapes. Because it looks like almost, depending on how you fill in these areas, it'll almost create like the shape, like the shirt is hugging his chest. You can see the pectorals here, how dark that is. So I just want to get those shapes right compared to what I've drawn, just so it kind of keeps that same effect. Hello, Autumn! See, I said she would make an appearance. Although, it'd be helpful if you didn't stand on my drawing. Get your little paw prints on it. You done, little one? I'm sorry, but you can't sit there. You sit there. And as we've learned, she likes my pencil, so I have to be very careful or she'll take it and run off. Oh, don't bite it. She's sure gonna try, though. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh! Kitty cat. Don't do that. Okay, let's start mapping out some of the top of the shirt on this side. It's kind of cool because I can already see this sort of taking shape before I've even filled it in. That's the exciting part, is once you get enough of it on the paper, little details kind of come together more and more. It's coming to life. I'm actually not 100% sure, like, the pronunciation. I believe it's like Majin Vegeta or something like that. It definitely starts with an M, because of the giant M that's on his forehead. I'm not that well inept with DBZ, so I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that it's something like that, or something very similar, I hope. Did not follow DBZ very much, unfortunately. But Abridged is pretty hilarious. Oh my god, there's that many different variations? I don't even know the difference between DBZ and like DB Ultra, and just, I don't know any of that. That's I'll have to look this up. Like I said, I actually started drawing this particular Vegeta just simply because it's a birthday present for a friend of mine. Kitty cat, you are absolutely adorable. But I like to draw. Just like, please, Mom, please, love me. I do love you, kitty cat, very much. There you go. You want to play, is what you want to do. I'm gonna have to kick you down. Nope. Alright. Raw. There you go. I know enough to make fun of it. I know enough of, like, if you wanted to get into a bridge to make fun of it, which is essentially making fun of it, but, you know. My cat actually got my finger the last time she went after the pencil. Hopefully I don't get blood anywhere. She did it out of love, I'm sure. Love of blood and suffering. Yes. Yes, my cat, as adorable as she is, she can sometimes be quite the demon. Especially if she hasn't ate yet. That's probably the hardest 5 minutes of my day, is coming in through the door first thing, and all I get is just consistent meow. Meow, meow, meow. That's all she knows. Aw, thank you, sweet girl. See, she really does love me. She just picks when to show her affection. Come on, baby. Here you go. And now there's cat hair everywhere. It's a good thing Justin isn't allergic to cats. There we go. Okay. Slowly but surely, it's getting somewhere. DB Super. So this Vegeta is from DB Super? I did not know that. Well, at least you know the names. I couldn't even figure that out. I just know DBZ and then DBZ Abridged. That's literally all I know. I do actually remember watching the it's like the Tournament of Power, if that's from DBZ or whichever one it is, but that was pretty cool. And the whole thing was created for just solely for the purpose of Goku wanting to train more and become better and fight better people. And I love that whole theme with characters. I watch a lot of Shonen Jump anime, and that seems to be very prevalent in a lot of their main characters. It's just classic. It's hilarious. They all have their different personalities, and it's just fun to see them go through the trials and tribulations. Oh, Dragon Ball Z Ultra is the Tournament of Power. Okay, well that's good to know. So I've watched that for the most part. Who's the giant pink guy? I know, didn't he fall asleep? He was supposed to be in the tournament. And I think he's actually OP in a way, but he didn't make it. He fell asleep. Oh goodness. Yeah. I think in a way I actually did enjoy the Tournament of Power better than I have season 8 so far of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has been challenging to say the least. I mean, there's plenty good there. I still love the show. I just think that there's no justice being done for a lot of the characters that we've gotten to watch grow and change and we now love. But I mean, like, I just watched a video, this guy recapping basically like the first 7 seasons, and even from just season 1, they held nothing back. They were not afraid to kill off people regardless of their station. It was very, very intense, and I think some of that's died down and they're catering more towards, I guess, plot armor and fan service, and I don't know. We still have another episode, so I'm curious to see how, everything plays out, especially between, like, Jon and Daenerys. That'll be interesting. Or, who's gonna possibly take the throne if there even is a throne still there. The whole thing came crashing down. Spoilers! Sorry, guys. If you haven't caught up, you should. It is worth watching. Alone, just this season alone, cinematically, I guess, has been very entertaining. They've done a lot, definitely with that budget that they got. Obviously, a lot of it wasn't well written. But, yeah, the video I watched was Adam Cleary from What Culture. He's fantastic. He's adorable. I think he explained things a lot better than most people attempt to when they give their position on Game of Thrones right now for season 8. He kind of explains a little bit more and a little bit more clear, I think, than I can even. But I feel very similar to a lot of his thoughts for this season so far and why they did certain things, why certain characters are currently in the position that they're in, like Daenerys. So we'll see. I'm definitely excited for Sunday, though. Get this last episode, and then I'll probably just binge the whole season over again just to get that full experience. I think cinematically watching the whole season over again once all the episodes release will be awesome. Have a lazy Sunday. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. Because you gotta remember what shapes connect, what to fill in, and what is supposed to be left for the next shade. So I have, alright, I'm gonna mark this area. That's gonna be dark. And it looks like this whole thing actually just connects here, so I can erase this line. Now the thing that I am also gonna be doing is this kind of like lightning energy effect. I think that's pretty cool, but I might not do it in the same places. I'm going to do it very sparingly, so it doesn't take away too much, just because this is really a close-up of just his face and his stature. So. Yes, Joe. Yes, we'll do a got marathon. But, no, I think the music is pretty interesting. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I like it so far. It's been a lot better for me than Wednesday. Not that, again, Wednesday was bad or anything. I just have certain taste, I guess, or certain styles that I prefer while drawing. I'm actually very open with music. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people say they have like an eclectic taste, but like genuinely speaking, I don't really think I have a genre or a type of music that I don't enjoy, for the sake of just, I don't know, I find emotional connections in music more or less than whether or not it's, underground or modern or pop or anything like that. If I can connect to it emotionally, I'll probably enjoy it. And even simple beats and things like this that we're listening to, I think is very, very pleasant, very nice, very light. Reminds me of joy. My soul is dead inside, so this is nice. My void is filled with silence. What's that song? The Sound of Silence. That should be the theme song. It's probably the third time I've had to get in here and redo this one line. But I know as soon as I get it right, it will be worth it. That's another thing I would say when you're drawing. Just kind of have patience with yourself. I know I touched on, like, if something's not working out, go to a different area and maybe, you know, come back to it later. And that's fine to do, but I mean, especially if you're like more geared towards just finishing a piece or getting something done. I mean, just kind of go slow, take your time. And it's okay to erase. I've had to get that into my head a lot. I want everything to be perfect the first time I do it, and it's not always the case. But c'est la vie. That is life. There's a motorcycle that passed by, and I hope you guys didn't hear it, but let me know if you did. We can work on our audio too. We're kind of trial and erroring everything right now, so if anyone has any suggestions or things that they would like to see or things for us to do, let me know. You know, leave a comment or let us know in the chat. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell if you like what you're seeing and you want more content. I don't just draw. I'm hoping to possibly even tomorrow maybe stream with some paint, kind of break things up a little bit, just because I know sometimes I need a break from drawing, kind of rejuvenate myself, do something different. But we'll see. Depends on how I'm feeling. Splatter paint Saturday. That would be pretty cool. I do a certain type of painting or painting style. I don't really know what the correct terminology is for it, but it's essentially like cell paintings, or cells basically form depending on the type of recipe you use for your paint. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I have some small canvases, so I think that would be pretty cool to see. Just kind of maybe show you guys how I've accomplished certain paintings so far with that style. They turn out pretty interesting. I actually just got a heat gun too, so I'll be able to actually develop the cells that come through a little bit more, and then maybe even put a top coat on it so it actually makes it pop a little bit more. Some of the ones that I have now I didn't get to finish the whole process on, so they don't look bad per se, but they're kind of flat in a sense. They don't have that shine to them like a top coat kind of does on the painting. That stuff stinks depending on what kind you get, so make sure you do it outside because the fumes will kill you. At least I assume it's probably not good to breathe in, so especially if you got animals and stuff. I will not subject Autumn or my roommate for that. What song is that? I know that song. Is that by Missio? Oh, well, I mean, I kind of figured the song was called Animal. I meant the artist that sings the song. Haha, it is Missio. I do know some stuff when it comes to music. I'm usually really bad about remembering song titles or artists. I think I usually just remember things based off of the lyrics or the melody or a chorus, things like that. I tend to pick up and know and recall a lot faster than if you tell me a name or say a song title. I just don't remember things categorically in that way. Unless it's somebody I've been listening to for a while. Then I'll know for the majority. I'm erasing away and redoing some of these lines, and I'm actually seeing like how much lead has already spread over certain areas. And I guess down here on the shirt, it really doesn't matter because, like I said, for most of this, I think if not all of it, it's basically going to get shaded at some kind of level of pressure to do the contrast in the layers on his shirt. So that's not really a big deal. But I might go back in, especially where it's whiter, like on the face and the neck, to build the contrast more and erase. I usually do that towards the end, if not like the last thing that I do on my drawings. The majority of the time after that, they go into a frame. So that's kind of how it will stay. It's not going to get rubbed together by other sheets of paper like it will sitting in the actual sketchbook still. So. Okay, so this piece. This is an interesting song. I'm not feeling it too much, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and skip that song. I'd also say don't be afraid to move your sketchbook or whatever you're drawing on around too to accommodate like how you naturally will draw certain curves or lines. I think that's easier than just, you know, putting yourself in a weird position or attempting to keep drawing over and over again something that's not coming together. So I like this a lot more than when I was just trying to draw. And all I had to do was turn the sketchbook around, so. It may sound pretty dumb to think about, but I know I get into the zone and I forget, oh, I can just turn this, and oh my god, that was so easy. Saved 5 minutes. Alrighty. So all of this is filled in. I'm going to start putting some little ticks on the edges here in between the line that I've drawn on the edge of the shirt. Just because that is going to be a lighter shade than when I just finished filling in. And it looks like kind of down to this side here, this whole edge is going to be that second lighter shade. Hi, Autumn. Fun fact, I actually gave my cat a full name. So when she's being bad, I can sound like my mother and call her by her full name. And it's Autumn Mazakine. I'm not gonna say last name. But I call her Autumn Maze when I'm really pissed off at her. And if you keep going for my pencil, you might just hear it. Gets killed by a castle. I forgot that conversation that they had. But yeah, I'm actually curious because Bronn hasn't made an appearance since he met up with Jaime and Tyrion. There's so many memes out right now with Game of Thrones. To be honest with you, I try to avoid all content, like at all costs. I won't go on social media like the weekend of, just to try to avoid any spoilers or any just dishes of information. I want to have a clear head and form my own thoughts and my own theories without being biased from other people's individual thoughts and memes creations. All that stuff ruins it for me, so will try my best to avoid it. But that is pretty funny. I support that. Alright, so I think I only have a few more spots to map out here. Surprised she hasn't gone for the pencil yet. Keep it up. Oh, there she goes. Yep. What up, Eric? How's your Friday going, man? Are your arms sore, by the way? Because mine were a little sore today. My buddy Eric and I, we go to the gym, so, you know. Weights! Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but definitely felt it this morning. Gotta live your best life, you know what I mean? A little sore. And nothing's like that initial wake up and stretch in the morning, and that's all you feel. Just the flesh of your muscles ripping apart. I'm just trying to pick and choose what shapes I want to use here. Because we cut off a little bit. That would have been pretty cool to incorporate. He has like a tear in his shirt, and that would have been interesting to do the depth on that, but we gotta work with what we got here, and I've already mapped out above that. So, yes, Autumn. Thank you for the kisses. You're so sweet. Here you go, baby. Okay, so under here. may be able to start shading it on the shirt. Let's make sure I got all the little pieces that I want. Get this last little detail in here.
You know, the bottom line with all of this, whether it's performance or it's art or it's sculpture, is
All right.
love.
We still gotta redo his ears. I just have those shaped out up there. We also gotta work on his face more too. There's still plenty here. I think I'm gonna start shading on his shirt. I think that will look really cool for you guys to see it all come together. Or I hope come together. We shall see. And it's pretty cool too, because as long as you kind of ticked where you did like your shapes, and you look at the reference photo, you'll be able to tell where you gotta fill in certain things. It's almost like a paintings by numbers kind of deal, but we're trying. And during this process is usually where a lot of the excess graphite will go on your hand. So just be careful, especially when you're like swiping. Usually what I like to do is actually below the loose lead off the page or away from the area that you're working on. But that would kind of seem annoying, I think, for you guys listening, so I'm not going to do that. I'm kind of using the edge of the lead. As soon as it kind of wears down and gets flat is when I roll the pencil and grab the other side, and that's usually when you can get some of your like sharper lines to kind of outline and then fill in. But you can definitely do whatever works best for you. That's just something I found is easy for me, or works best for me.
Mic off. Mic on.
There we go. So I'm just going to continue to fill in the darker, or the darkest areas, I should say, first. Get those shapes the way that I want them. Alright, and then just be careful, because like I just did, that's supposed to be one of the lightest areas. And almost just filled it right in dark. Just keep making sure to look at the reference photo you have, or pay attention to your marks. It's starting to look kind of cool.
Mic off.
Looks like this massive area is going to be one of our darker spots. I'm going to start filling that in next. And even when it's really dark shading like this, I still like to kind of keep one direction or one angle with the way that I'm shading in. I just think it looks smoother. Although I will warn you, just with using like these kinds of number 2 pencils, if you're shading darkly, don't press down too hard. I have actually ripped a hole through my sketch pad, so that's not fun, especially when you're almost, you know, finished with the drawing and it's ruined essentially because you have this giant hole in it. You don't want that. I'm trying to decide now for tomorrow. I think I actually am going to go ahead and do a painting stream tomorrow. I think that would be interesting, pretty cool. I think I am going to go ahead and do the cell style that I was talking about. And then maybe we'll even have like a list of the supplies and the recipe that I use to make the paint more fluid and actually create the cells and shapes and things like that that you're looking for with that style. So we'll get started on that. Kitty cat. Oh, I want her to be very careful though right now with all this loose graphite. I just have little cat paw prints all over Vegeta. I don't think Vegeta may be a cat person. I think he's probably more like a dog person. But who am I to say? I don't know Vegeta very well. Kitty, no! That is what my cat typed. She's very excited to see you all. And for some of you, this might be a more tedious task. I know for me, it's nice to see it all come together, but it does take a while to get there just because there's so much shading to do. This is usually what takes the longest part of these kinds of drawings for me. And who knows, there might be other techniques or ways of accomplishing this same effect at a much faster pace. Or maybe I'm just slow. But I guess the more you do it, the quicker you'll become. That's kind of what I'm hoping too. The more that I do these types of drawings, like anime characters, things like that, the more I'll find maybe patterns or simple ways of still accomplishing the same look or style that I'm going for. But it's not about speed, it's about the quality. Autumn was not wearing a hat, no. I don't dress up my cat. It's disgusting. I don't know why people do that. It's not disgusting, I'm just kidding. But I am not one of those people. I don't dress my cat up. She does have a collar that she's torn. When she scratches her neck, she's torn up the, the material, so I need to get her a new one of those. But other than that, nope, that's just her fur. She's just a pretty kitty. And she's super soft too, so I would there's no point in putting clothes on her. Because then you wouldn't be able to feel how soft her fur is. Oh, cat in the... You lost me on that one. Now I get it. Hello, cat. Cat in the hat. Cat hair all over me now. It's a perpetual state of being for a cat owner, just covered in hair. I would say for most dog owners too, but cats, man. Especially Autumn, she sheds like crazy. This is probably the biggest part of the darkest shading I'll have to do, so. definitely looks like we're getting somewhere, finally. Fill the chat box all the way. I know, it's kind of frustrating. The effects. Ah, look! Yes! Graphite palms. My favorite. I try not to let it build up too much on my hand. If anything, I'll just use like the friction between my other hand to try to rub some of the graphite off. Or you could simply just go wash your hand, start over. But yeah, no, for the most part, you can just rub it off with your other hand though. Alright, I think I'm gonna get some of these little pieces here just because your hand might get tired actually. It's kind of funny. Just with shading. So sometimes it's nice to give up on a bigger section and do a smaller area and then come back to that. Relevant recent event? Has there been any recent events? Wait, isn't today like Sweden Day or something like that? I thought I saw that on Twitter. I thought that was pretty cool. Tormund from Game of Thrones. I follow him on Instagram. I don't know his actual name because I'm horrible with names. But Tormund, the ginger burly wildling. I love him so much. He made a post on Instagram I saw too. I don't know if he's Swedish or something like that, or if it's they're not even Swedish. Maybe it's like Norwegian. No, I think it is Swedish Day or something like that. But I thought it was cool. He made a post about it. And it may have even just been like an ad or something. He's wearing sunglasses, but you look beautiful. think it's funny. I don't know if those holidays are made up or they're like actually recognized as national holidays. Like there's Pie Day. Like you get a free pie on Pie Day. I think that's like March 14th or something like that. For the numerical value of pi, but you know, we're Americans, so we convert that to actually eating pie. So not complaining, I like pie. I think they have to be made up, or at least they're just only recognized in like the United States. There's other ones too, like National Sibling Day or something like that. National Pet Day. Not hating on him, I just think it's interesting. Christopher, I don't know how to say that last name. Hivju? Hivju? I don't know, but it sounds dope. I could see him being like a Christoph, but it's Christopher. And she's back! Back at it again with the mic. Hello, pretty baby. My little Halloween cat. Just got all the colors in her. I think Halloween is probably like my favorite holiday. That or, well, I mean Christmas is great, but I think Halloween takes it for me. And that's probably just because as a kid I like grew up just repeatedly watching Nightmare Before Christmas, which is like, yeah, it's a Christmas movie, but it's like it's Halloween meets Christmas. I don't know. Both of them I guess count. But Jack Skellington, man. I love him. He'd be pretty cool to draw. I think I might actually try to do that for one of my next drawings. National Day of Sweden is a national holiday observed in Sweden on June 6th every year. Huh, there's something on today though. It's the 17th of May. I swear to God. I saw it on Twitter. I promise. It's real. I'm not making this up. So maybe it's not Sweden, but it's some other like country something. And if I don't figure it out by the time the stream's over, I'll post it on Twitter. It's like trivia. I'm so bad with trivia. Oh, kitty cat, you're shaking the table. You're shaking the table. I love you, but you gotta go. Thank you. Norwegian Constitution Day. See, it was Norwegian. I was close. I kept saying Sweden, and I almost went Norwegian, but I didn't believe in myself. Have faith in yourself. Ye have little faith. Among Norwegians, the day is referred to simply as, oh god, Stintema? Sintentema? I have no idea. It's interesting though. Good for you. Go Norwegian Constitution Day. See, I'm not full of it. I'm gonna angle it this way. There we go. Actually pretty happy with how this is turning out so far. I think once we start adding in the other layers, different shades, this thing's gonna look pretty cool. Depending on how I'm feeling, I don't know if I'm gonna put those like effects on here, like the whole little lightning energy thing he's got going on in there. I think I'm just gonna leave him pretty much as the focal point and let that be that, depending on how well he turns out. But it's also good to think of too. You can always hide mistakes if you make any, although it's kind of hard to make a permanent mistake when you're using pencil. But using like some kind of foreground or background to take up the space or to cover up something if you accidentally messed up, that's pretty smart way to take control of a possibly bad situation. I could foresee that mainly happening with somebody who uses ink or if they're doing a painting. Like I said, usually pencil, you can just erase it and move on, but I mean if you're doing something this dark, maybe it might be a little bit harder to fully erase it and hide it. Alright. A lighter area. And like as you're going over and looking at things, you might find some spots that you want to reshade over. You've already colored in pretty dark. What I like to do is clean up the ends a little bit more, make them sharper points. Like I said, for that I just kind of roll the pencil to catch the edge of the lead. Harder to do a finer point if you're using the widest end of the pencil lead, so. gonna be a lighter area there on the chest. Okay.
Testing. Maybe you can hear this.
Yep. Bunch of lid. Neat, neat? Neat? Yeah? I hope it's coming across well to you guys. Got a lot going on here. Everyone can hear it. I'll tell you, it would be nice to be able to have your guys' chat, like whatever you type in there, come through on the headphones, just because I can keep doing my thing and just be able to respond or talk instead of having to look up. Although I don't mind, but sometimes I forget where I'm at when I go back to keep drawing. Plops right there. I should have named you Plop. I'm so serious. It's looking good. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. Like a professional YouTuber. Is that how we do it? We jimmy rig things? We call it professional? I'm okay with that. I'm not above that. Give me Google glasses. Google glasses? Are you talking about the like the VR things? Or is that something else that I have just not even gotten into? Google glasses. Every YouTuber has an earbud under their headphones. That's dope. Now I feel like I'd be like a secret agent if I do that. You guys don't know what's happening. I'm being fed lies. Are you curious? Yeah, what is that? Jack going in one eye. I don't know if I'd be able to draw if I had my vision obscured in any way, to be honest with you, or like compromised if I'm looking at something else. I don't think I'm multifaceted or a good multitasker in the sense of being able to use that. But if you want to buy me a pair, let's give this a go. I'm sure they're probably expensive. Oh, that was adorable, cat. You just gonna swat? Hey now, now you're getting violent. She's a Spitfire. Behave. They are expensive. What? $1,500? That's ridiculous. I don't know, man. I can't even justify spending like $100 on something. I'm cheap. I mean, I did my first stream without even a proper pencil with an eraser, so I'm getting better. But it's definitely gonna be like cost to value ratio, you know what I mean? Better be worth it. $1,500 like a tool. I think Autumn would like to say hello. What, Missy? What? Ruh-roh. This is what her little feet did. That's to you, Eric. That's what Autumn says to you. She's sneaky, man. I think she just comes up here and she just wanting to love on me, and then she runs over to the computer or steps all over my drawing, or she just wants attention. This streaming is going to be an adjustment for her. All right. This robot voice, though, is killing me. This is hilarious. You guys have to type your responses in chat very proper, like old English.
Just realized that full screen on mobile does not look so good. LOL. The chat is over the camera feed when you go full screen of fail. LOL.
Well, at least we're able to see things that we can correct and make better for next stream. Back it on up, Missy.
Eric York said, "Yeah, the chat in full screen drop too." Eric York said, "I don't know how to do that." Joe Brown said, "On the TV and PC chat is on the right, full screen mobile is on the left. WTF LOL." Eric York said, "You're asking a lot out of me LOL."
So it looks like there's some technical difficulties we'll have to examine with the way the stream's set up. Make it look more pleasing to the eye. And easier for viewers to see what's going on and interact.
Joe Prime said, "Why not Apex now?" Eric York said, "Emma is watching so baking show LOL, but she was be done in an hour LOL."
Eric, buddy, you gotta I don't know if that's your autocorrect on your phone or whatever you're using, but it's not very good English, my friend. I'm just poking fun. Excuse me, cat. Thank you. And Emma's watching a baking show. She should be watching the stream. Oh no! Technology at its finest. Yeah, because Eric has to have all Apple brand, which is gross. Now that I'm judging you for, Eric. Your choice in tech brands.
Wait, what I did to T, no, you can't do that. Eric York said, I will LOL. Joe Rod
I didn't choose this life. Yes, you did, Eric. You chose it. Accept it. Or change it. Heyo. Just get all Android and Samsung brand stuff instead. You know the guy to go see. Well, I guess it's not just you have to worry about either, though. I think, doesn't Emma have everything on, like, Apple and the iPhone and all that jazz? All that fun stuff.
Joe Prime said, I'll never forget the night Steve Jobs' ghost appeared in Eric S. bedroom and summoned him into the inky Apple abyss. Joe Prime said,
It's cold dead eyes.
his cold dead eyes.
Just like, are you not entertained? Look at all Apple has to offer. Just stole him. Just snatched him from his bed. Is that cradle robbing? Does Steve Jobs cradle rub? At least in Eric's case, maybe.
Mic off. Mic on.
I mainly just wanted to fill most of this in, just so I can start working on the other sections, doing the shading on those as well. So this isn't really completely filled in and as dark as I want it to be, but for the sake of having the shapes filled in, it's decent for right now. Definitely go back in.
Mic off. Mic on.
Go back in later and make it cleaner. But that's pretty cool, huh? We're getting his shirt done fairly quickly.
Joe Prime said,
He doesn't deny it.
Joe Prime said, are you installing DoodleTay as a Mac version?
We're almost done. Almost. And like I said, I'm still gonna probably go back in here and shade in a lot of this so it's more solid. Slightly distracted. That looked like a Google view.
Joe Prime said, Proflow like Lido is VRLOL.
It's view. Put it close to your face. And then that way you'll have bug eyes.
Joe Prime said, like I'm gonna
2D streamed. But if it's that close to your face, wouldn't it be more like 3D? Because it's coming like right at your eyeball. Eh? my goodness. Alright, so we definitely have that shaded in. Like I said, not as cleanly or as crisp of that dark that I'm looking for, but
If you are too demanding or too greedy, your mind is not rich and self-sufficient. When your mind becomes demanding, when you long for
it'll
something,
work.
you will end up violating your own precepts.
That's it.
Not to tell lies.
I think I gave you like 5 of those, Joe. Like Galaxy VRs.
If you keep your original mind, precepts
Oh my gosh. It's so bad. It's okay.
The beginner's mind is the mind of compassion. When our mind is compassionate, it's boundless.
Alright, so I believe that was all of the darkest layer that's on here.
Also, the real secret of the art.
Um,
Always be a beginner.
let's see.
Be very, very careful about this point.
Alright, so we're gonna do a shade lighter. But still kind of dark. That's pretty much everything but the edge and the sides that I did here is gonna be a lighter shade. So, filling this in here. Now for trying to do like a lighter shade, I usually try to use the angle, whatever flat angle of the lead that you're using is on, and put that towards the page and just kind of lightly color in. And you can go back in and make this darker too if you want, but I think what I've started so far is a good tone, good contrast to the darkness that I already colored in. It's looking pretty good. goodness. All right. Just trying to watch and make sure that I keep my shading even on this second layer. You don't want some too light, some too dark. Okay, so I already went in on this side. I actually think I could probably darken this up a little bit more, just because some of these other lighter spaces are light or are still pretty light. I really want this to pop, so yeah, I'm gonna go in and do it a little bit darker. Not as dark as the previously colored in spacing, but just a little bit. I like this a lot better now that I went a little bit darker. Yeah. Looks like it's coming together a lot nicer. I think once we get the shirt done, the next challenging thing is going to be shading the neck, and then probably working up into the face and then into the hair. I think is how I'm going to flow through the rest of this. And that's also kind of just because I know, like I said, I get the lead on my palm, obviously. And by doing it, like working our way up, I think it's easier to try to keep from spreading that loose lead all over the areas that you don't want it to be in.
Said,
So,
I'm going to play after this episode, LOL.
我感觉我做涂鸦是想把它传播给大众，让大众更能深刻的和正确的去认识它，然后我能对做涂鸦的这个传达出的需求。而且我平常会一点点与众不同的态度，就是你要去坚持和做一些与众不同的这样一些东西。
awesome.
Eric York said, yeah.
Oh, you were able to watch the stream in VR? That's pretty cool.
When your screen was playing crazy.
Or was it playing crazy like all over the place not working, or was it just crazy like it was cool? Crazy like cool. Well, good. I'm glad. That's pretty interesting. I didn't think to try to watch it like that, but I mean, hey, if you got a VR headset, why not? Go for it. You should live your entire life in VR. You never have to leave your home. That's kind of a crazy thing to think about too. It's like all these conveniences that are about now. Like you can have groceries delivered to you. You can essentially you never have to leave your house if you don't want to. Like if not even if you're just like agoraphobic, but if you just truly don't want to leave your house and deal with humanity, you don't have to. And I think that temptation right there is kind of scary for some people, myself included, because like I wouldn't leave my house if I didn't have to. And just pop on the VR headset and go to the beach, be on a roller coaster, do anything. Advancements, man.
Joe Prime said, I'm actually interested in watching movies in VR. I could see the standalone headset worth buying if you wanted a badass theater experience.
Well, how much are they? Like, is it worth the cost? And I don't know. I feel like as someone who kind of has motion sickness and stuff like that, like, I don't know. Have they compensated for that? for people who have motion sickness for wearing like a VR headset. Maybe not for like playing games and stuff, but at least for like the watching like a movie or something like you said. Because if not, that would suck. Some kind of like motion adjustment or like motion sensitivity.
Joe Prime said 400 headset IMAX VS3 565 TV LOL.
$400 headset. Ooh, dang. That's pretty pricey. But it's a 65-inch TV? Ooh. Oh, you're saying versus. I gotcha. Well, that's not bad. I guess $400 for that headset's not bad. It's kind of limiting though. I mean, it's great for one person. You'd have to have multiple if you're having like a movie night or something and you got people over. Oh, you know what actually would be pretty cool is having that VR like headset for that movie experience and being like on a plane, like utilizing it for like that kind of traveling. Oh, okay, you're stationary. That's cool. See, I didn't know that. The video I saw, the guy using the headset, it looked like he was standing and stuff, and the VR that you were looking through was kind of bouncing around. So that would make me pretty woozy, nauseous. But if it's stationary like that, that'd be pretty cool. I would be down to try to watch and like see how it looks, get that experience. Still not down to throw $400 for it though.
Joe Prime said, if you were lying on the couch or chair, you'd feel physically the same as being in a theater, and if you move your head, you see a space around you, so it's fairly unlikely to be disturbing.
Well, that's good. I mean, like I said, if that's the case, then I'd be down to try it. They should have like little testing places in the mall or something to sell them. You can like sit down and watch a movie for like an hour. I bet there's a line for it. Well, I mean, like, how recent is this? Like, I know VR headsets came out a little bit ago. I say a little bit ago, but you know, but like this specific type of like experience that you're supposed to be using the VR for. Like, is this new or is this old technology with a new price tag? Alright, let's take a look-see. It's coming along quite well.
Mic off.
Joe Prime said, VR has been evolving for about 2 YRS. This is a is cheap enough to mass market, and we have lots of content nowadays, so it's no longer early adopter tech, but still a niche segment.
Ah, I see what you're saying. Well, good for them. They're expanding, broadening our horizons. I think I would mainly, probably, if I ever got something like that, it would solely be for the purpose of utilizing it on a plane or something. Or like, there's nothing for you to do really. Plus, it's probably smaller and more convenient to like travel with than a full laptop and books and all that other stuff, so. Now what I'm gonna do, this last layer is pretty light. I might not be able to finish all this, but this last layer that I have, I'm gonna erase my little marks for, because it's gonna be so light that you won't really see. You'll see those if I don't erase them now. Oh yeah, being able to have your entire like office right there and have access to everything through your computer and whatnot, that'd be pretty dope. Hi, baby.
Joe Prime said, for VR office in the hotel looks so much better.
Yeah, no. And then yeah, you have the convenience of your entire office just through VR. That's pretty dope. A little one. I'm not done yet. And if you guys can... Oh, that looks pretty cool for you. Get to see what you see. Darken this up a little bit. I'm gonna come in and erase out in here. And this is the extra space that I had that just the loose graphite on my hand had already smeared and like pretty much filled in color. So I'm gonna erase it out because I'm gonna color over it, but not nearly that dark. I want to pop a little bit more. So there's that. It's brought back to life. The same over here. I'm just gonna erase out these little blocked areas. Hi, pretty girl. Now she's all lovey-dovey. I will take it. As long as she's not attacking my pencil. No, kitty, you are doing so good. Just don't look. Don't look. There you go. I'm going in and I'm like just, oh, cat. Damn it. Yeah, I have to erase all that out. Pretty baby. Your paws to yourself. I'm going in here and just doing some really, really light lines. Just enough to kind of fill in that area. But try to keep it very light. Cat. Alright, you're done. You were being cute. Yes. Well, I think that that is probably a good stopping point, actually. I'm gonna have to go in. You can see already, like, his arms are all smudged with lead, so I'm gonna have to go in and erase all this stuff and reshade. But for the most part, the t-shirt has come to life. I think I'm probably gonna go in and do a little bit darker on the edges of the lines, but I'm pretty happy with what we have so far. So if you guys want, come check out tomorrow's stream. It's gonna be at 7 o'clock as well, 7 p.m. I should say, Eastern time. I'm probably gonna do some painting. I think that that sounds fun. Do a little break from this guy. My hand's actually hurting a little bit today. So look forward to that, and make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified when I'm going live and put up new videos. And then also feel free to follow me on Twitter at DoodleTay TV. And yeah, so I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.